Up, everybody. Let me start the recorder. See the recorder, my Zoom H4n. What's up? On the road again. Fuck yeah, dude. I'm on the road. I am going from Ohio, north of Dayton, Ohio, to Westchester, Pennsylvania. Currently, it is 1:44 in the evening. Let's see. What do I have? Let's see. 1:44 a.m. There you go. 1:44 a.m. And, yeah, on the road, going over to Westchester, Pennsylvania to visit my friends from the Mediocre Show. And I drove about 4.5 hours. It's about an 8-hour trip. And I drove about as far as I thought I could before I started feeling like I was falling asleep. Or like I was not falling asleep, but going to fall asleep. And man, I hate paying to pay for a spot just for a couple hours, especially if it's expensive. But, you know, I'm going to go be part of a documentary called Earbuds, and I'm super excited. It's a podcast documentary from the Film Nerds podcast crew. Graham Elwood, and I forget what the other guy's name is. And I downloaded one of their podcasts, and it's very entertaining. I heard Graham Elwood on the Death Squad podcast, Ice House Chronicles. You can find it on deathsquad.tv. And he talked about it on there, and that was the first time I had heard about a podcast documentary. And I've been a podcast fan since 2006, 2007. And podcasts have really changed my life. And a lot about my life. I would say it's definitely made me a better person. Made me more open-minded. I've explored new ideas through podcasting. Things that maybe I hadn't thought of before. So I'm excited to go record the Mediocre Show podcast. I think we're going to do a couple shows. We're going to eat some ribs. Eric tomorrow's going to make some ribs. So I had to come about halfway, almost to the turnpike. And I think I'm in Stanton, Pennsylvania. Maybe. Is that what it is? Let me see here. Stanton, Pennsylvania. It's a pretty nice shot from my part of Ohio to Pennsylvania. I mean, it's a lot of country back roads. Not a lot of traffic. Pretty nice, actually. I kind of enjoyed that ride. It wasn't too bad. It was raining, and I kept seeing deer carcasses along the side of the road, which, when you start seeing deer carcasses along the side of the road, if you live in deer country, you know that the AM is when you're going to see them the most. And I usually go to work pretty early. And since I go to work that early, I get to see all the little critters. I did say critters. I get to see all the little critters on the roads. And there's a lot of deer on the road in the middle of the night. And so I didn't want to hit a deer in the rain. And I needed to get some sleep. I started to get tired. And I just don't want to risk being on the road and being sleepy. It's the worst. And so I decided to get a hotel. I'm in New Stanton, Pennsylvania. I think I'm at a Days Inn is what it is, maybe. Super 8. Super 8. You know, back in the day, you could get one of these for like $30. So, and then $69 was the cheapest I could get, but I needed a bed. I didn't want to just pull into a truck stop and sleep in the car. I don't know, man. I can't handle it. Not if I'm going to be on a documentary, you know what I mean? If you're going to be filmed on a documentary that people are going to see, you need some rest. And you need to, you need to get your sleep. And so I figure I'll get about 4 hours of sleep or so. Wake up, head to Westchester, and participate in this documentary called Earbuds and record some Mediocre Show podcast and eat some ribs. And so this is the first part of the journey. It's rainy showers right now. Let's see what it's going to be like in the morning. Looks like it's pretty much a chance of rain the whole time. So that kind of sucks for a road trip, but at least it's not snow. And that's about all I got. So Izzy Rock signing out. That's kind of douchey, right? Saying your name and signing out. All right. Fuck it. All right, guys. I'm sure I'll record some in the car tomorrow. Podcasts are great companions to take on road trips. I heard the Mediocre Show. I heard the Joe Rogan 500 episode with Doug Stanhope and Tom Rhodes. Highly recommend that podcast. I heard Obviously Oblivious. They had a 2-month delay. That was the one that I stopped as I was coming in. I heard the Potent Brew podcast. I heard the Comedy Film Nerds podcast, which they're producing the Earbuds documentary. So I can't wait to go participate and tell them about this, about the story of the Mediocre Nation and my love of podcasts. So, all right, that's it. Go later. All right. Bye, guys. Dun, 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 dun. Good morning, fellow travelers. I'm getting ready to leave to go to Westchester. Had a good night's sleep. Good solid 5 hours of sleep. Now I'm going to hit the road and go see my friends in the Mediocre Show. Super early. I think I'm going to have a Cliff Bar and some almonds, some coffee, pick me up some coffee and hit the road. I feel good. All right.
Superman, and that's the formula, you know?
It's like,
and it doesn't work.
It doesn't work because Batman was always dark.
Batman is evil, man.
It was hurt.
Sweet children, comedy film nerds podcast. Comedy film nerds podcast with Dean Del Rey. That's what I was listening to. Comedy Film Nerds podcast with Dean Del Rey. I am currently driving through Pennsylvania. On my way to Westchester, I'm on the turnpike. It's gonna cost me like $20 just to ride this fucking turnpike. Can you believe that? I'm about to go into this tunnel. Watch the change. It's the Kittatinny Mountain. I mean, I couldn't imagine what it was like to have to build these tunnels and this highway system here. How amazing of an experience that probably was. I think that, to be a worker like this, to build roads and to build bridges and highways and to blast a tunnel through a fucking mountain It's pretty amazing. Yeah. I love traveling, but I came to realize something. I'm not a car guy at all. I always wished I was. My dad was a race car driver. And his name was Terry. Terry is a race car driver. Was a race car driver. Primus song, Jerry was a race car driver. 24 years old. Yeah, my dad was a race car driver, and I used to go, when I would go visit him in Florida, I would go watch him race cars on these tracks, and it was always really rad. But I was never a car guy. And to get to my original point, while I drive through this tunnel on the Pennsylvania Turnpike, was that I can't wait until we have self-driving cars and I can play on my phone while my car drives me to wherever my destination is. Westchester, Pennsylvania, blah, blah, blah. I really look forward to the day when I can just relax and have the car drive me there. I can watch movies. There's just so much energy that you're putting into driving. You're just sitting here. And I love listening to podcasts. But, and I mean, the sights are beautiful, but it is really stressful and draining to drive. I don't know how you truck drivers do it. It was really windy out. I don't know if you guys hear that. It's really pushing on the car. But yeah, I gotta stop doing that. I can't wait till we have self-driving cars for real. I think that the time will come when it's super necessary to be able to transition that way, because human error causes a lot of accidents. And I know that it would take away freedom from a lot of people to not be able to drive their cars. And maybe there's some sort of, maybe they can build extra lanes for people who want to drive themselves, and everybody else who wants to drive these Google self-driving cars, that'll be the norm. But bring it on, robot overlords. Give me a Google self-driving car for a trip so I can relax. I would totally stay awake, but I could be on Twitter, Instagram, Reddit, whatever. Watch a movie if I want to. No, I have to watch for deer. Man, it's really windy out. And I've seen some cars that have like this infrared where they can see, shapes of bodies and animals ahead, and it can kind of detect what other cars are doing. And there's issue if there's just certain things that as a driver, instinctually that you can do that maybe if you had a self-driving car that it wouldn't take that chance to do. And then you would get pissed off like, son of a bitch, let me have that control. And I'm sure they would still have some option for control, but then how many people would get pissed off because the car's not driving fast enough, so they're going to drive it faster? I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. But, yeah, this is an update from the road. Yay, Pennsylvania Turnpike. All right. Yeah, that's all I have. All right. Update out. Podcast time on
the fucking bat.
Yeah, now
He works at night.